what you would do with the Palestinian population. What would you do with it?
I don't know. Would you like to accept them or we eliminate the terror of Hamas? Would England accept them?
Well, in their words, cleansing Gaza of all Palestinians. That is ethnic cleansing. That is a war crime. Israeli publication Haaretz published a story claiming the IDF are deliberately firing at Palestinians at aid distribution centres.
Let's jump into a heated Piers Morgan panel debate about Israel's actions in Gaza between him and an Israeli politician. So take a moment, leave us a like on the video. It gives us a big boost in the algorithm, and let's get right into the debate.
Senior members of your government, your colleagues, Smodrich, Ben-Gvir and others, extreme right-wing members of that government, who are now talking in a very brazen and very open way about what they really want to happen, which is, in their words, cleansing Gaza of all Palestinians. That is ethnic cleansing. That is a war crime. So you may not say that, or maybe you will, but your colleagues are saying that, and they want to cleanse Gaza, as they put it, of all Palestinians. That is not self-defense. That is ethnic cleansing.
It's ethnic cleansing and it's genocide. And I hate the justification that people say, well, oh, it's just war. What do you expect from war? As if these are not war crimes. Like Piers points out, that's kind of a typical prerequisite, isn't it? Like, not the justification of the actions. You can't say war because at some point, even that goes too far. And the claim that we're making is that it's gone too far, not that it doesn't exist. It's like, it's just a misnomer, really. But despite this hardly being war in the first place, I mean, it can barely be considered war when the power imbalance is so great. The targeting of civilians almost seemingly takes priority. But like in terms of conflict, right, these are just semantics at that point. It's really just the oppressor putting back the boot down on the neck of the oppressed because they saw justification to do so, where 20 minutes later, it's hard to be taken serious if you're still pretending that begets this.
What you would do with the Palestinian population? What would you do with it?
I don't know. Would you like to accept them or we eliminate the terror of Hamas? Would England accept them?
Well, let me read you.
Maybe another Arab
let me
country?
remind you of some of the things that you've said yourself. All right, during an October 24 rally in support of Jewish settlements in Gaza, you said there should be another Nakba, referring to the 1948 Palestinian displacement of hundreds of thousands of people. You also said, I am personally proud of the ruins of Gaza and that every baby, even 80 years from now, will tell their grandchildren what the Jews did. That was in February, you said this. You want explicit violence against Hamas and Palestinians. In February 2024...
Against Hamas, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We want to eliminate every terrorist of Hamas. Let me tell you that.
Hang on, I haven't finished yet. I haven't finished. Sorry, I haven't finished. I haven't finished yet.
Oh,
in December 2023, you said, I don't care about Gaza. I literally don't care at all.
This is May Golan, I believe, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. She literally works for the Israeli government. She was elected. She's a minister, by the way, and she's only one of many whose comments reach this level of vile and disgusting when talking about Palestinians or Gaza. It's almost shocking to hear them so comfortable in putting it out there. In the West, we could never imagine this. Like, even Donald Trump has to be clever in the way he spews his racism. This is unmitigated and unmatched. The intent part here is clear. Israeli politicians all throughout the government have made it clear that they see these people as animals who need to be rid of, that they need to turn Gaza to a parking lot, they need to cleanse them and move them out of the area, all while bringing apart the actual physical and cultural destruction of these people. I mean, if only we had a word for that. Oh yeah, it's called genocide.
You talk about the IDF being the most moral army in the world. On Friday, the Israeli publication Haaretz published a story claiming the IDF are deliberately firing at Palestinians at aid distribution centres. Soldiers from the IDF told the publication that commanders ordered troops to shoot at crowds to drive them away or disperse them, even though it was clear they posed no threat. More than 400, maybe 500 people have been killed, apparently, in this manner. Benjamin Netanyahu, of course, immediately said all of this was malicious falsehood designed to defame the military. And the Israeli military has launched an investigation into possible war crimes following the report. But you see, this is the problem, and this is why the fact there's no media there is so important. It's not down to the IDF to decide whether journalists are at risk. It's down to the journalists and their organisations. And if the journalists were there, they could verify exactly who is shooting who in the food lines. Because you just say, as you always do, everything is being done Every bad act in Gaza is being done by Hamas.
It's Occam's razor. The possibility in which relies on the most assumptions is most likely to be untrue, so that of which has the least is most likely to be true, especially after 20 months of direct bombing, where if we're taking the IDF's word for it, they've wiped out tens of thousands of Hamas, they've been decimated, right? That we're now still assuming that Hamas is planning these rogue co-ops to make Israel look bad by shooting at their own people and saying it's the IDF rather than the IDF is just shooting at people. It's a different level of brainwash, especially when it's Israel still saying journalists can't come into the area. What are they trying to hide? Like, at some point, it has to be rather obvious what's going on here. They're just doing their best to cover this up in front of all of our eyes.